Zeal for service is defined as the wholehearted giving of oneself to the service of others. We were rescued from a turbulent life by Jesus. We can then repay his kindness by serving others, particularly the impoverished. Saint LaSalle became a living example of Jesus' compassion for the poor. Through education, he aided individuals who were in need. Now, we, the LaSallians, are challenged to help other people in the same way that Jesus helped us in our time of need. Thus, we will be interviewing a personality who exemplifies the fundamental principle of zeal for service.
Our interviewee is the current special science teacher of Philippine Science High School Southern Mindanao campus, where he teaches integral and differential calculus to senior high students. He is also the designated math unit head of the said institution. Prior to that, he was a former professor and SHS academics head at the University of Mindanao, so teaching is kind of in his blood. And perhaps most important of all, he is also my tito. Our interviewee is none other than Mr. Ronald A. Gica.
For the first question, we would like to know, what is zeal for service to you?
Zeal for service to me is all about service from the heart. It is about genuinely giving your time, effort, and passion through something that you don't really expect something in return. At the same time, you are still having fun and genuinely appreciate others, that they will also influence other people.
In what way do you possess the zeal for service as a person?
Well, as a teacher, I always extend effort beyond official time and understanding every character and attitude of my students. It is not about being good, but it is something about understanding what's the core of your role, not just inside the workplace, but also outside, especially nowadays that you are not meeting your students. You need to know that you are influencing a lot of students to become whatever or whoever they want to become, the man or woman that they will be.
How can you relate your job to the core value of zeal for service?
They say that teaching is the most noble profession. And one thing to be noble is the zeal for service. There will be a lot of things that will come along the way, in your way, that is beyond what you know in your job description. You need no one to watch over you doing the right things. Because we teachers, as teachers, we don't just impart knowledge, but we motivate them. So that's how the zeal for service is really important as a teacher.
Were there times when it became difficult to uphold your values and virtues?
Yes, sometimes when you get to think that failure would be one of your options, would be one of your fallback, you tend to think twice. But then again, we always remember that life is not always doing the things right, but to do always the right things.
How important is it to show service in today's occurring reality?
Nowadays, we should continue to share our lives to people for the betterment of the society where we belong. We should continue to make changes and create happiness and give hope to the hopeless. Especially nowadays that we are battling the pandemic. As teachers, we need to continue loving our students, because by loving them, we tend to influence them to love, to appreciate where they are, and to encourage them to never stop improving, never stop helping the needy, giving them your utmost time and effort, and continue encouraging everyone to be good. And by being good, we encourage everyone to do public service. And by doing this public service, we tend to help a lot of people.
How do you set an example for your neighbors or your students in manifesting the zeal for service?
Well, I have to do the right things. I have to be an example to the youth. I will continue to work hard with my job and to extend whatever needs that I can do to my students. When they need interventions, I will conduct interventions, remedial sessions, and tutorials. It's beyond your job description. But by doing this, you tend to help one student at a time. And in terms of manifesting zeal for service, it's not really the ultimate goal, but you influence other people. It is not something that we choose over with people on what they will become. Zeal for service grows in us, and it lives for you and everyone who is in need. Things right now are really hard, really, really hard. But being passionate about your career, about your passion means that you are living still in a successful and fulfilling life, where success means that you are happy. And when you are happy, you will find in your heart the zeal for service to others.